Hi, good morning. Today is the 27th of August, and our meditation is based on Romans chapter 12, verse 6. God, in His kindness, gave each of us different gifts. If your gift is speaking what God has revealed, make sure what you say agrees with the Christian faith. Very interesting translation, where they translated as speaking what God has revealed at the place of prophecy. But that's what this text is talking about. It's talking about prophecy. We saw that God gave us a measure of faith, so we don't need to have a very high vision of ourselves, but we can just have the normal one and understand what is the role that we have to play in God's kingdom, in God's economy. And then the other thing that Paul is saying that is going to help us to do so is to understand that God has given us gifts according to his grace. And there are 7 on this list here. And then there'll be others in First Corinthians, in First Peter, and then in Ephesians. But there is this list of 7 gifts here that is being given to the church. We shouldn't be afraid to practice them because they have been given us to encourage us, to help us to understand our place in this economy and to help the others. And as we bless others, we are going to be blessed as well. We are always so not sure of what we hear here and there about prophecy because, and of course, we can't talk about it in 80 minutes maximum. We can't explain what it is, but it is, as this version says, is speaking what God has revealed. That's very important. Actually, that's what prophecy is, isn't it? To speak what God has revealed. And what is very, very important in verse 6 is the end of verse 6, in my opinion. It's a treasure because it says that prophecy should agree with the Christian faith. Some versions, they would say with our faith, but we know that translation would be okay, is okay, if we understand that the faith he's talking about, and ours is God's faith, is the gift that God has given us. Because God doesn't work with human faith. Human faith is vapor, it's nothing. He works with his faith that he has given us. Because faith, says Paul, is a gift from God. So he's talking about the measure here for the prophecy is what this faith reveals to us. People can, there are even people who call themselves prophets, and they are going to be prophetizing in Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. And it can be a big danger for the church. A few years ago, someone sent me a message and told me that God had given her a prophecy. I said, oh, yeah. And this prophecy was saying God told that person that I was going to die. Of course, that wasn't very nice to hear. And I was disturbed for many weeks because of that prophecy. But it is very easy to say that, isn't it? I can even bring here a prophecy today on this 27th of August and say that everyone who is watching this video is going to die. You are all going to die. So that's my prophecy for you. But what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything because it's true that we are all going to die. Because in 100 here, maybe in 200 years' time, even less than that, every person who is watching this video in 2020 will be dead. So it's very easy to do things like that. I could tell you as well that if you're not married, that you and your husband, you and your wife, you are going to get married the same day. You see? But I mean, God is very serious. God is not going to be wasting our time. God doesn't need the time, but He's not going to wasting his time with things like that. So that's why he's telling the church that the prophecy is in accord. It should agree with the Christian faith. It should agree with God's love, the revelation of God's love. It should agree with justification by faith. If someone tells you that God is telling you to hit a person, to kill a person, to do this and that, that's not from God, it's from the devil. Because the gospel has already revealed to us that we should love even our enemies. We should pray for them. We should bless them. So if a prophecy is not in accord, it doesn't agree with the Christian faith, with what God has already revealed, it cannot be from God. Because God cannot go against his own will. He wouldn't be God if he did so. God doesn't change his mind. His will is eternal. He doesn't change his mind. He's not going to say one thing today and then he's going to lie and say something else tomorrow. God's not a man to lie. So prophecy is to bless the church, and it has to agree with the faith that God has revealed to us. God bless you.